In this video, I give you my overall verdict along with what I consider to be the main pros and cons of the Fairywill Pro 2056 electric toothbrush. Hey, it's John from Electricteeth here. We assist you in selecting the right dental care products and understanding common dental healthcare topics. I'm going to jump straight in and give you my overall verdict, but do stay tuned because I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on how to improve your oral health. The Fairywill Pro 2056 does the job. It has the essential features you need, such as a timer and a pacer. It has good battery life. It provides a satisfactory clean, although it's not as thorough or as intense as some comparable products. The included UV Sanitizer is not a must-have. If it's important to you, then it does the job well, and it's one of a limited range of electric toothbrushes to come with such. The travel case has a UV Sanitizer built in and allows you to charge the toothbrush whilst inside. This is a neat feature. As is common with Fairywill products, you get excellent value for money. The design is a little bit dated, but it's functional, and this can be overlooked a little bit when you consider what you're getting for the price. Just before I give you the pros and cons for the Fairywill toothbrush, I want to give you a few tips which will put you on a path towards good oral health. Irrespective of what toothbrush you use, make sure you brush your teeth twice a day. Do so for 2 minutes each time, use the correct brushing technique, and floss or use interdental brushes between the teeth at least once a day as well. If you do those things consistently, they are going to make a big difference and put you on the path to good oral health and happy and healthy teeth. For more tips and advice on taking care of your teeth, watch the video linked in the top right corner. Now then, on to the pros and cons. So the first pro of the Fairywill Pro 2056 is the fact it has a built-in timer and pacer. This is essential to any good electric toothbrush. The brush will automatically turn itself off at the end of a 2-minute cleaning cycle to make you aware that you have completed your clean. And at 30-second intervals throughout that clean, there'll be a pause in the brush motor, which will in turn change the brushing sensation and the sound that is emitted from the brush. And that is your cue to move between the 4 different quadrants of the mouth and clean your teeth evenly. The next pro has to be the long battery life of this toothbrush. Fairywill claim a battery life of around about 10 days, but in my hands-on testing I achieved nearly a whole month on a full charge. It's a really strong performing electric toothbrush in terms of the charge, so you can go quite a long time between charges without having to top up the battery. And you get status information on the battery on the brush handle, so it will show green when there's good power in the battery and you'll get a red flashing light when it's time to recharge. So another pro is there are 5 different cleaning modes available on this toothbrush. Now ultimately you don't need lots of different cleaning modes, but if you like the idea of using different modes, particularly maybe a more sensitive one for your teeth and gums, then you have this option here on this toothbrush. You simply change between the modes using the dedicated mode button sat below the power button. Another pro with the Fairywill 2056 is the included UV Sanitizer. Now this is a countertop mounted solution which also doubles up as the charging stand for the toothbrush as well, but it can hold up to 3 brush heads at any one time in the sanitizer, and it runs a UV cycle for 10 minutes from the point that you actually close the door on that sanitizer unit. Now you have to have this connected to the mains power supply for this cycle to run, and it will only run once. If you want to run additional cycles, you will have to open and close the door again. Now this UV sanitizer will help kill off bacteria that may exist on your brush head and help you feel more confident about brushing your teeth with a lovely clean brush head each time. Another pro has to be the included travel case. This travel case not only allows you to charge the toothbrush whilst inside the case, it also has a UV sanitizer built in as well. So even on the go, you can sanitize your brush heads. It'll hold the brush handle and up to 2 brush heads. There are vents built into the case, and to charge the toothbrush inside, you use the provided USB to micro USB cable because the case itself has a micro USB connector on it. And then you can plug it in, charge the toothbrush up. You can see the charging light on the toothbrush through the lid of the case. So it's a really nice addition. This is something you don't typically see on toothbrushes of this price. You usually have to pay a lot more money, and I can't think of many toothbrushes that actually come with a sanitizer built into that travel case as well. The final pro has to be the price of the Fairywill 2056. Fairywill have made a name for offering great value for money toothbrushes, and this is no exception. You get 8 brush heads included in the box, along with that travel case and UV sanitizer. Now the retail price of this is $79.99. However, typically you can save a little bit on that. Expect to pay around about $68 for the 2056. So price this electric toothbrush over a 3-year period, as we like to do here at Electricteeth, and that works out at around about 7 cents per day, which is really good value when it comes to an electric toothbrush. Although you get 8 brush heads included in the box, replacement brush heads work out around about $13 for a pack of 4, so $3.25 each. It's not the cheapest electric toothbrush that we've ever tested, but it is nonetheless very good value for money and cheaper than some of our top recommended electric toothbrushes. So if you're going for a value option, then this is a good choice. Fairywill's FW507 is a little bit cheaper. You still get the travel case, but you don't get the in-case charging facility, and you don't get the UV sanitizer option. So if you are on a budget, consider the Fairywill FW507. So then to the cons of this brush, and the first one has to be the design. It just feels a little bit dated. Now maybe I'm being overly critical here, but the black and gold colour scheme is one that works well generally speaking, but I just feel this looks a little bit dated in comparison to a lot of electric toothbrushes on the market today, including other models from Fairywill themselves. Take a look at the P11 or the P80 as example, and they look much more premium. The gloss black on here and the gold, I just don't think it really works all that well. You know, it's perfectly functional, don't get me wrong, it does the job, but it just doesn't scream at me as like a really nice, well-designed handle. It's all plastics on here, and it feels a little bit cheaper in places. And inevitably, it's a good value toothbrush, so there has to be some cost cutting in places. So another con has to be the cleaning action. I just simply didn't find it as thorough or intense as a lot of other sonic electric toothbrushes, including those from Fairywill themselves. They've got other brushes that just feel like they're doing a better job of cleaning the teeth. I'm comparing this mostly to the likes of Philips Sonicare. Now this is supposed to offer 40,000 vibrations or brush strokes per minute, which is technically 9,000 more than a Philips Sonicare toothbrush, but this felt weaker and less intense. Yes, it cleaned the teeth, but I didn't come away with that really sort of fresh, clean feeling that I get with some other electric toothbrush models. Another con is that the cleaning mode button only works when the toothbrush has switched on. With a lot of electric toothbrushes, you can actually change the cleaning mode prior to turning the toothbrush on. And Fairywill themselves have done this on previous models, but on this model you actually have to press the power button to turn it on. So it's now into the cleaning cycle, and then you press the cleaning mode button to cycle between the different cleaning modes. To me, it's not the most ideal option. I prefer to change the cleaning mode prior to actually switching the brush on. Another con is that the UV sanitizer is not essential. There is the perception sometimes that we need to sanitize our toothbrush and oral care products. And yes, it potentially can bring some benefits, but leading organisations such as the American Dental Association don't recommend it as something you must do. And as a result, it leads to a bulky component that must sit on your countertop in your bathroom. So it's much larger than most other toothbrush charging stands because of the UV sanitizer module. And it also has a knock-on effect to the price because that has to be priced into it. So it makes the 2056 a little bit more expensive than it perhaps needs to be. Another con is the fact that the UV cleaning cycle is only 10 minutes. Now, to be fair to Fairywill, the likes of Philips Sonicare, their UV sanitizer only runs for 10 minutes. But when I've researched UV sanitizers, studies suggest to get the maximum effectiveness, the cleaning cycle needs to run for at least 20 minutes to kill off the majority of that bacteria. So in order to do that, you're going to have to let the cleaning cycle run at least once, open the door and close it again to run for another 10 minutes. It would be nice if you could change that running time for that cleaning mode, or it was defaulted to a higher amount of time. 10 minutes is definitely better than nothing, but studies seem to suggest that longer is better and more effective at removing that bacteria. So the last con has to be the brush head availability. Now, at the time of recording, Fairywill offer 3 different brush heads in the box with this electric toothbrush. So you can ultimately and probably will select the brush head that you prefer most. At this time of recording, I'm unable to source or buy the large sized W profiled brush head that was my personal preference. I can buy the other two styles of brush heads that are included, but I can only buy them as a pack of 4, which has 2 of each. So although you have 3 different brush head styles, there appears to be no option at the time of recording at least to buy just one of those brush head styles on their own. If I want to buy the compact style head that comes included, I have to buy it with the other style of brush head that's also included, which seems a bit of an odd thing to do. Bearing in mind, Fairywill offer a few different designs of brush heads, typically sold in their own pack, so it seems a bit odd with the 2056 that things are different. So there we have it, that's my overall review along with my verdict, pros and cons of the Fairywill Pro 2056. I do hope you found this video useful. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. For more videos like this, click subscribe. But until next time, thanks for watching. Oh, and if you want more tips and tricks on improving your oral health care, watch this video.